Divine Inc. LLC, and we tapped in What's the Tea. And right now, I am tapped in with Couga.
Hey girl.
What's up? So, I am so glad I finally got you on my show.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes, I've been tapped in with you for a while. And I'm going to tell everybody why.
Ooh, why?
Okay, let's first start off, before we get to all the tea, guys, I want everybody to kind of like know who Couga is,
Okay.
where she's coming from, what you do, and I basically just want everybody to kind of get a feel of you.
Okay.
So let's start off there. Why don't you tell everybody, not only are you a dope songwriter and an artist, but tell everybody else what else did you do?
Well, we're sitting right here in the home of where I created one of the best #1 brunches in the ATL at King of Diamonds.
Shout out to King of Diamonds
So
ATL, y'all.
I'm the creator of the KOB brunch that is at King of Diamonds, one of the first brunches to be placed in a strip club with a live band.
Y'all heard that.
And
Shout out.
you're here right now in the home of that. Shout out to the Red Apple Band.
What's up,
And
y'all?
shout out to Uncle Nelly, Mr. Put It In Your Mouth. He's the one I partnered with. He's the main person at KOB that brought me here to create this epic brunch that we do every Sunday.
Shout out to KOD Atlanta, y'all. Y'all heard her. All right. So, big boss lady right here. Now, let me explain something to y'all. What I want to know, doing my research, right? And I want you to clarify this with me.
Okay.
I know back in the days, and I want you to clarify if this is what made you Couga, or if you feel like you was Couga before all this happened.
Okay.
I know you used to date one of the group members from Silk. Right? And yes, y'all, I had to bring the tea because my show wouldn't be called We Tapped In What's the Tea if I didn't bring this up, y'all.
Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true.
Okay.
But that's definitely not the definition of Couga. I was Couga way before I met the guy from Silk.
Okay, so, and this guy...
He met Couga.
Okay, so this infamous guy that we're talking about here from Silk Guy is Jimmy Gates. Okay? So tell us a little bit about your relationship with Jimmy Gates, how that got started, how you guys met, and yeah, we tapped in. We want to know the
He
thing.
is definitely tapped in. Well, that was a relationship I was in almost 3 years ago that ended with my hit song called Ghosted.
Okay.
So if you know what ghosted means, it kind of will sum up our 11-month relationship. It's like a typical ghosting situation. We kind of met, I booked him for a show here in Atlanta for Valentine's Day. I was kind of on my, I don't know if I can curse on here, but the name of my Valentine's
Please go ahead.
the name of my Valentine's Day party was like Fuck Valentine's Day. So for my ladies that did not have a Valentine's that year, I booked Silk and Pleasure Peace. I wanted to give the ladies something to celebrate for Valentine's Day, which ended up being an epic event. Lots of loving couples as well as single ladies. We came into a building and we celebrated. At the end of the night, I was approached by him and he asked me to be his Valentine. And 11 months into our relationship, I was ghosted later. And I mean, I don't know what else to say about that.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Hold on. Oh, we going too fast. We gotta get the tea. We gotta get the
I
tea.
skipped the whole middle because it's kind of like I don't want to entertain them, but I will a little bit.
Okay, hold on. We gotta get the tea. So let's stop right there. Okay, you guys were together for 11 months.
Yeah.
How was your relationship? Like, I mean, him being Kevin Gates. Obviously, Jimmy Gates.
Get it together.
Jimmy Gates.
She started moving.
Hold on. Make sure we edit that part out. But Jimmy Gates. Hold on, Jimmy Gates.
Yes.
Okay. 11 months. Jimmy Gates. Silk. Did you feel like within those times that y'all was in love? Like, did he love you? Before we get to the ghosting part, how the song came about. Let's tell everybody a little bit about that
It's
relationship.
so hard for you to go back to the good times when, it ended epically, but I'm gonna go back for you.
So we can understand how the song Ghosted came about, y'all.
Just for you, okay, just like anybody in the world is a fan of Silk. Meeting in my bedroom, all their songs, right? Lose Control, you just know Silk. So I was a huge fan of Silk, even before we met. So I was just excited to meet the founder of Silk. And his courtship was a lot different than what I was used to. I got this whole 90s R&B sweetheart to all the women courting me. So you can only imagine his court game, and his game was tough.
Did he live up to the meeting in my bedroom? I'm sorry, are we going too deep and we tapped in? Did he live up to that?
He was mediocre. If you listen to my song,
y'all heard that on We Tapped In first, y'all.
So if you listen to my lyrics in the song Ghosted, you'll see how I felt about that. But it wasn't about that part of our relationship that I fell in love with. I fell in love with the way that he treated me. I fell in love with the way that he talked to me. I fell in love with the way he supported me. He was around when I first became Couga. He was going to open mics with me when there was like 10 people in the building. This is a whole legend in Atlanta, and when he walks in the building, they're like, oh my gosh, she got Silk. He's in here supporting her. So this was not like a regular relationship.
Right.
We were in a real relationship. I was with him every day. I was on the road with him. He supported me in my career.
Yeah.
He supported me mentally because this was my first real relationship from my divorce. So he was the first man that I trusted to be in a relationship with.
Do you feel like you loved him?
We won't talk about that, but honestly I did, because most people don't write a whole song about somebody they didn't care about.
Okay, so let's get forward. Okay, so you with this man from Silk,
Yes.
Jimmy Gates, Leatherman. You feeling all these things for him. How?
I met his family. He's met my family.
Okay. So basically, you guys was in a real relationship.
We travel together. He cooks. He doesn't eat his food until I take my first bite. He runs
So
my
this is
bath water.
full-fledged
This is a
relationship.
real relationship. That's what people don't. That's why people. I have to explain that to them. The reason why I was so passionate
About.
ghosts.
Okay, now bringing back up Ghosted,
Yeah.
right? Because it's infamous song Ghosted. Clear this rumor up where. Did you write the song or he wrote the song? Because there was a rumor, confliction, doing my research, that he wrote the song and apparently when you guys split, clarify that on him trying to take the song
No. It's no way that he wrote the song because I did my research. You shouldn't pillow talk so much because I know you saluted me because I own all my publishing.
Okay.
You do not.
Okay.
So that's even how me and my producer was even able to remix Meeting in My Bedroom for Ghost. Let's be clear.
So it's a remix for Meeting in My Bedroom.
Yes, it is.
Which the famous song, guys, Meeting in My Bedroom, which is one of my favorite songs.
I own that with Warner Music because I gave them most of the publishing just to push it through.
Big shout out.
Yeah, let's do that. And yeah.
You heard her.
Yeah, Couga Entertainment. And the next thing I want to clarify is I did not write the song until it was a week after I had been ghosted. I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm a huge spiritual person. I woke up and it was just in my head, Meeting in My Bedroom, the chant, the melody. I'm a real songwriter. I write songs before I have the beat.
Right, okay.
The beat is in my head. So when I had the beat, I just I used all my songs about real events. So this is about me being ghosted. So I wrote the song at 4 a.m. after I had been ghosted. He knew nothing of the song until I had to form a member of the group that I had to put out the group. She wasn't too happy about the song because She called him her brother. She was really attached to him.
Okay.
So we fell out in the studio because I was doing the song. The only reason why he found out I was doing the song is because she told him.
Okay, so let's go backwards a little bit, okay? So we can get the full description. So everybody that's tapped in right now, and okay, let's get to how was you ghosted? That you felt that you were ghosted, that you felt like you had to write this song. Was this like a revenge song? Or
we came back from Tennessee.
okay.
He was on tour. And we came back, and it was a Saturday.
Okay.
And anybody that knows me knows every Sunday I have to be at KOD to do brunch. So I got up in the morning from him. We were supposed to catch up after brunch that day, after I went to work, and go eat hibachi.
Okay. Okay.
I never heard from him again. I went to work. He never answered the phone. He never answered a text message. I never heard from him again. To this day, I've never heard from him again, to this day. And this is 3 years later. The only thing I did receive from him is because 3 days later, my aunt passed away. And this is why the song Ghosted was produced too.
Okay.
Because I was livid that you had the nerve to send me a RIP text that's still in my phone.
And this is after 3 years of ghosting you.
No, 3 days. 3 days after he ghosted me.
Okay.
On a Wednesday, he sent me a text that said RIP to your aunt. I said, well, what about all the 3 days I've been calling and texting you? You never hit me back. Never responded. I've never heard from him again.
So this has been 3 years since that RIP.
Yeah.
Look in the camera. If you had something to say to him, what would you say to him 3 years later?
Thank you. Because now I have a hit song. And I just remixed it with the Prince of Atlanta. You know, I got ghosted by a legend. Scrappy got ghosted by a legend. So me and Scrappy, the Prince of Atlanta, and Love and Hip Hop.
Shout out to Scrappy.
Shout out to Scrappy. We just remixed Ghosted. So
I heard that, y'all.
So I just have to say thank you. So, you know, one legend to another legend. I mean, I think it's fair.
Okay, we tapped in is waiting on your response. Okay, so you can reach me at any time. Please do.
You and your wife, because that's why I got ghosted, because he was married.
Oh, okay. Jimmy Gates, we tapped in is waiting on your response, please.
And Love and Hip Hop.
Okay. Speaking of Love and Hip Hop, okay, that was pretty intense, y'all. Okay. I know
you said you tapped in.
We tapped in. Okay. We are definitely tapped in. And speaking of being tapped in, we know you've made a few cameos or appearances on Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta. Yes. Like you mentioned, you have a song, a remix with Ghosted with Scrappy. Shout out to Little Scrappy or Scrappy.
And Mama D. Shout out to Mama D.
And Mama D.
Yes.
Tell us, how did that come about, going from being ghosted, writing the song, you know, doing the remix with Scrappy, and now, okay, you're on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Take us there.
Well, like I said before, I was already Cougar before dating the guy myself.
Okay.
So I was already somebody in the industry. I've been, my family, actually my cousin was the person that signed Crime Mob and Little Scrappy to their first music deal in their teenage years. Sirius, shout out to Sirius. Okay. Tommy Phillips, that's my cousin. So our family has always been connected to hip hop.
Okay. Okay.
And I am a former casting director working with Shorty Rose, Scrappy, Gucci Man. I've cast over 30 of his videos back in the day. Shout out to Boomtown Productions out of Houston, Texas. So I was one of the biggest casting directors back in the day. So I've always been connected to the industry.
Okay. Speaking of connected to the industry, I know you were connected to a few of the ladies in the industry from Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta.
He's trying to get right to it.
Listen, that's why we call We Tapped In, because we want the tea.
Well, I can rewind, like I said.
Okay, wait. Let's. Okay, now you're on Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta, right? You're connected to all these people in the industry. Now you're here on the show. During your time on the show, I was doing my research, right? I know Bambi. Shout out to Bambi. Shout out to Diamond ATL.
Shout out.
Give us a little bit of backstory on how you and Bambi became, I know at one point you guys were very close.
Well, Bambi, I was actually Bambi's manager. She was one of the feature models. She was one of the feature models in my music videos with Gucci and Scrappy. I just say it like that. And at the time, I was also on the road with Diamond from Climber. So, and Scrappy and Diamond were engaged at the time. So, me and Diamond's relationship became strained for 11 years because Diamond was under the impression that I hooked up Bambi with...
Stop right there. Now, Diamond was upset because she was engaged to Scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
So she was technically with Bambi, with Scrappy before
Scrappy and her
Bambi.
were engaged.
Is this before or after Erica fixed it?
Their relationship has always intertwined the whole time we've been with her.
Okay, so now Bambi meets Scrappy, right? I just want to kind of get the timeline vision in my head.
Well, I want you to understand that I'm not clear on exactly when Bambi met Scrappy because I wasn't aware that Bambi was talking to Scrappy. All this happened behind my back, but Diamond at the time assumed that I hooked Bambi up with Scrappy.
So because of that, you and Diamond are no longer friends because of that?
Well, we were no longer friends 11 years ago, but up until like about 4 months ago when she used me for her storyline, we reconnected.
So how did she use you for your storyline? Like we want to know. You start saying.
I'm very interested. So, and I know all the tea, and I'm the bone collector, so I know everything that she needed to know about Bambi. So she kind of reconnected with me when she got on Love and Hip Hop. That's how I was able to start my career.
Okay, so clarify this bone collector. Who bones have you been collecting and?
Whoever I need to toss out.
Huh. Okay, so, all right. Speaking of that, how did Bambi, if he was engaged to Diamond, got with Scrappy if they were in a full-fledged relationship?
Well,
Please clarify that so everyone that's tapped in can understand the timeline.
Allegedly, if you look at me and Mama D's live, allegedly, she climbed through the halfway house window. So that's how she got connected with Scrappy.
Bambi, we need answers. Tap in.
But let me clear up something now. Let me clear up something about that. In my time of going through what I've been going through recently, working with Diamond, and that's which I no longer am her publicist, I no longer work with her.
So you no longer work with Diamond, you're in no connection with her right now?
Yes, I have to actually send an official apology to Bambi because sometimes the better woman wins.
Okay. Y'all heard it here first on We Tapped In.
So if you, I'm a loyalty type person.
Okay, Bambi, so please tap in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you're...
Now my loyalty, I think, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to go through situations to see who has your back.
Right.
And I can truly say that Mama D and Scrappy have been the ones that have truly stood the test of time and had my back.
Okay, so this brings me to my question. You're no longer talking to Diamond. You're no longer friends with Bambi. You now have a remix with Scrappy, who is Bambi's ex-husband. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you feel any way about that at all? Like, being that you're now you see that she was a good person, or what?
I have no feelings. I just give her her flowers and being a better choice.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Okay. So now, we're moving forward. Are you and the cast and everyone okay since you and Bambi had y'all little disagreement? And now that you're on the show, you got the remix with Scrappy, you know, is everyone cool on the set? And
I'm just doing cameos on the show, and I have to say that you have to stay tuned to see who I'm cool with.
Okay, that's fair enough, y'all. Y'all heard what she said, tap into Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, and now, you're on Love and Hip Hop, you're a songwriter, right? You clearly, do you produce?
Yes. No, I don't produce.
Okay.
No, I'm a songwriter and an artist. That's it.
Okay. What can we look forward to with Couga, with all that you have going on, the Ghosted remix, your appearances on Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta, all these major artists that you work with. What can we look forward to coming from you next? What's your next goal? What are you working towards now?
Well, with me being at the level that I feel like I am and at the age that I am, I think it's more ideal for me to have my own show.
Okay.
And I want to create my own show. Actually, before me and my ex separated, we were getting ready to do an R&B reality show with us and a few other people from Drew Hill.
Shout out to Drew Hill, y'all.
From some other guys that was in the group Silk, some other 90s R&B artists that are in the industry. We're all going to come together and do a reality show. So I plan on still making that something that's going to happen. So my goal is to have my own show.
So is that in the works, so can we look forward to that anytime soon?
Definitely in the works.
Okay, do you have a time frame on when we can look forward to that?
Sometime in 2025.
Okay, all right. So with that being
And
said,
also, I'm planning a tour. So I'm on a Rich Nigga tour. One of my songs.
yes,
And I'm Rich Nigga
out of all
shopping.
platforms.
I'm Rich Nigga shopping with a few more Cougas that's going to be traveling with me. And I have some Pumas that's joining my team. And Pumas are my younger women that follow my brand.
Okay, all right. Shout out to that, y'all. Shout out to all the Cougars, the Pumas. Y'all heard it here on We Tapped In. So where do you see yourself going from this point on? Starting the reality show. One of the owners of King of Diamonds of Atlanta, y'all. All these connections that you have. Like, where do you see yourself at this point?
I plan on continue working with all the other owners of King of Diamonds here in Atlanta. I plan on continuing to build my KOD brunch brand. I plan on still working with all the artists. I've had Mary J. Blige host my brunch. I've had Genuine. I've had Drew Hill. I've had Case. I've had so many people come here. A Little Kim is coming. Keisha Cole was just here last week. I have Chris Brown coming. I have Faith Evans trying to come soon. So it's just so many people, there's so many legends that come through these doors on Sunday for brunch. So I'm really excited to see what my brand does with that. And as far as the music, I just want to continue to bring a new twist to 90s R&B music and continue to be Cougar. What I've been told with my brand is I'm in a lane that's all by myself that's never been done before. First of all, most women that come into music, they start doing music in their younger years.
Right.
I started doing music full time at 40 years old. I'm currently 50.
Wow, that's amazing. So we can kind of understand where the Cougar name came in at.
And it's not because I like younger men, because I date who I like.
Right. That was my next question to you. How did you come up with the name?
Well, Jimmy Gate definitely was not younger.
Okay, so that was one of my next questions. So you kind of like took it out of me. Was how did you come up with that name? Like,
I came up
because it obviously makes sense. The name makes sense, and there's obviously everyone understands what the word cougar means. But for you, what does it represent for all the cougars out there?
For me, what cougar represents is I am a woman that's been married. I'm now divorced. I've been through the heartbreak. I've raised the children. I made the money. I lost the money. I've been in trouble. I've been good.
Right.
I've had great friendships. I had horrible friendships. I've just been through life.
Right. You're just a woman now.
I'm just a woman now. Life be life. So my music is about lifing and how, at the same time, the blessings be blessings. So as a cougar, what I represent is the African American woman cougar. I cannot be broken. Like, that's what my cougar brand represents, is a woman that cannot be broken. We've been through so many things. We've been through so many relationships, and we still standing. That's what the cougar brand represents.
Okay, and my last question to you is, are you comfortable where you are right now as a cougar and representing this brand for all women that are in their 40s, in their 50s, who've been there, who've done it all, because that's basically what you're saying your brand represents. Are you comfortable in this place where you are?
Well, I remain uncomfortable because in an uncomfortable state, it keeps you going.
Okay.
But one thing, I'm confident in my own skin.
Okay.
I've never had surgery. I'm a natural woman.
Okay.
Don't say I won't. I may get a little nippy.
Beautiful, by the way, guys.
I've never had surgery. I'm a total natural woman, and I'm confident in my own skin, and that's what I represent for a lot of women out here today.
Okay, big shout out to the Cougas, guys, and the Boomers. You heard it here. Tap in. Couga's sitting right here, y'all.
Yeah.
Look into the camera and tell everybody to tap in.
Hey, tap in and make sure you follow AKA COUGA and follow my music on all platforms. My station is COUGA.
Tap in, everybody.